what's up? It's Danaya Azure. Be sure to follow me all over social media at Danaya Azure, DanayaAzure, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.
Hello, Letitia, and welcome to Danaya Azure Radio. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I am phenomenal, super excited. Going through your Instagram, and you're doing some pretty phenomenal things. Yes, I got connected to you through the fabulous Michelle Tucker, our first-class consultant via our agency. So, yes. Oh, my goodness. So,
what having me? Thank
yes.
you for.
So tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Letitia Scott Jackson. I am the visionary of Keeping Families Connected and of Boys in Blue and Girls Too. Keeping Families Connected, we are a nonprofit organization, 501c3 accredited, of course. We're not government funded, so everything that I do with my nonprofit, I do it with my allowance. And I've been doing this for 7 years. So what we do is we provide luxury prison trips all throughout the state of Texas. And not only that, sometimes people call me from different states and they're not able to take their children to see their parents that's incarcerated or they're left with caregivers. They're less fortunate, and sometimes I send them to different states just so that I can keep the families connected. We provide free breakfast, free lunch, restaurant of their choice, the majority rule that's going to the prisons and coming back from the prisons. Also, we mentor some of those kids that have parents in prison. We mentor them. So Boys in Blue and Girls Too is a mentorship program that I started 2 years ago, and where we take these kids, we teach them life principles, age 5 through 28, I say, per se, because a 28-year-old is still a kid to me, but nonetheless, because we make the whole family come. Well, we make sure that the family attends the meetings, not make them, but we make that offer, and they do adhere. But we have 40, 50 people in our class. I got people that come to hear me teach that's in their 70s because they need life-changing situations. So we teach life skills. We teach life principles, God's principles. We teach financial literacy. We teach credit worthiness. We teach trading in the stock market. Every kid in my group, I took my allowance, age 5 through 28 for the kids, and I started legitimate businesses for them. They all have that, and we teach, because, you know, in our community, people get so complacent because, see, I was raised in the inner city. My dad was a preacher, and so these kids, you know, they think it's cool to be driving around with no driver license. They think it's cool to not have a, you know, they think it's cool not to open the car door for your parent or hold the door for an elderly person or just hold the door to be polite. They think all that's cool. A lot of people have, a lot of children in younger generation now think that's cool. But see, with our group, we have 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds that hold the door for you. My grandsons are 6 and 7. They're the Boss brothers. They have a bow tie business and get ready to launch their own potato chip candy or whatever. But when I get ready to go to the car, they beat me to the car. They open the car doors. My 7-year-old grandson, he watches. He's very observative. And they can't miss a meeting their moms. See, all of my kids have to come to the meetings. All of them participate. The organization is Keeping Families Connected. So everybody participate, yes. And I guess I get so excited when I talk about changing people's lives, till I didn't even tell you why I started Keeping Families Connected.
Right, because I was just going to ask that. I was like, how did this even start?
Because in let me go back. June 1st, 2008, my only son was killed while I was sitting in church on the organ, on the piano. I think I was on the piano that day. And that Friday and that Saturday, God showed me he was going to die. And I kept telling God, when I would wake up out of my sleep, he showed me the same way two nights in a row. And I woke up and I said, Lord, I said, don't take my son. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've done all this crazy stuff or whatever. Don't take him. You can take me because I've already lived my life. He's only 17. Don't do that to me. And guess what? That Sunday morning I was sitting in church. He had a car wreck. He flipped the truck. He had 2 other people in the truck with him. He was the only one that died. So I moved to Texas. I had a business at that time in Louisiana. I moved to Texas, and I met my husband. I say my king. And I came to Texas with an air mattress, a TV, my daughters, and their clothes. That's all I had to my name. I went through depression to the point where I walked out and left everything I had. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. And I had my husband thinking I had a little money because I had a little piece of business that I was only making money enough to live from 1 month to the next. Really profound. And so this was in 2009 when I met my husband, January. Well, January of 2010, the feds come and they charged me with preparation of fraudulent tax returns because this guy committed a fraud against my company. This is really real. And so I hired an attorney. We went to court and lost the case. October the 6th, I go to court. My judge revoked my bond. My husband goes to court in Texas, and he's guilty by association. We married. Guess what happened? We got married November the 16th, 2010. October the 6th, 2011, we both go get arrested in 2 different states, and we don't see each other no more than 2015.
Oh, my gosh.
And so while I was sitting there in 2011, I paid for an appeal attorney, and I win the appeal. I knew I was going to win the appeal. I was telling my lawyer while we were in court the questions to ask. He don't ask them. So, and it's hard to win a case in federal court. But you know, the magistrate sent the paperwork back and said, I've never seen an attorney overlooking error so great. That's how I won the appeal.
Wow.
Yes, but I haven't seen my daughters now. Remember from 2011? Now this is 2013. So I come home. I win the appeal. I come home, and I left my daughters with people from the church because both of my parents are deceased. My son, I told you, was killed. And I had nobody here in Texas to keep them. So I sent them back to Louisiana with people that I thought were my friends from the church. And every time my money would run out, they would put my kids out. And from
wait a minute. Wait. Let me get this straight. Now, and Letitia Scott, who is the of Keeping Families Connected, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. I need you to back up because I'm hoping I heard that wrong. Now you're saying you had to go away to serve time because of the lawyer didn't do their job.
Exactly.
And you had somebody that had a fraud case against you when they were the one that screwed up.
Exactly.
And you gave your children to people from the church who were supposed to be friends, and they put your children out whenever the money ran out?
Exactly. I wrote a book about it, where the real church folks said. As a matter of fact, I just
wrote. Ooh, child, look.
We might be coming to your city because I wrote the play in one day, and it was standing room only on a Thursday night. I had Luther Barnes in the play, Shirley Caesar's grandson in the play, and I just was putting something together. Like I just wanted to see if it would work, and it did for Thursday night. And Lil Nas X Daddy is a Christian singer. He's a gospel singer. Raised Lil Nas. He came and he performed at my play. He flew in and performed at the play. A gospel song he wrote, and this is on a Thursday night where I was expecting. The week before the play, I only had like 60, 70 tickets sold. And then on the night of the play, there's almost 300 people there. So now I
remember because you were talking about this on Clubhouse. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to actually.
I remember you now. Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In Louisiana in August. So I'm kind of excited about that. But long story short, that's when my dad was a preacher, an AME preacher. I've never had a job in my life. I was a musician for the church and a drug dealer. Never used a drug, never took a drink, never done any of that stuff. I'm just telling you who I am because I don't know no other way but to be is genuine. And a lot of people say, oh, you're just so straightforward and so raw and uncut. Well, what am I supposed to be? I'm just me. All I can be is
exactly.
Me. But anyway, so at the age of 21, now that's why I say when I went to prison in 2011, federal prison, I went for something I didn't do. But when I was young, I went for something I did do because I was a drug dealer and I went to federal prison at 21 facing a life sentence in the feds. On my day of sentencing, they lost the record, and I only ended up getting 13 years in totality, 5 years in prison, 6 months boot camp, 8 years supervised release. God delivered me from this. But when I came home, I'll say this. When I came home, I was just living. You know, it's a difference in being a citizen and a safe, and I say this all the time. So I was just living, getting by, doing what I do to, you know, take care of my children. But when my son died and I came to Texas, I said, Lord, I can't do this no more, so I need to become a saved sinner so I can get my blessings in abundance and I can give back and I can do what I'm supposed to do. I can allow you to use me the way you want to use me. And it wasn't until I went to prison in 2011 that I totally committed to Christ and to allow God to use me. Still didn't know that it was for me to come out and create and start the organization Keeping Families Connected at that time. But then when I got home and I started praying, like, Lord, I didn't get to see my daughters and look how the people treated them and what was my purpose for sitting there all this time? That was just a waste of time. And God said to me, just explaining today, it wasn't a waste of time. Now you can take other people's children and see them, those women that were crying, the people who didn't have no money to take the kids to the prison. They didn't have no cars. They didn't have no money to put on the phones. They didn't have no money to buy stamps. The Lord says that's your connection. You are the connect to Keeping Families Connected. And so now here I am, 7 years later, never received a government grant. Maybe out of 7 years, 5 corporate sponsorships. It wasn't enough, wasn't a lot, but it was a blessing. But you're talking about somebody who spends thousands and thousands of dollars a year because we do three prison trips a month. I meet with Boys in Blue. I went from meeting with them twice a month because I paid it out of pocket too to meet with them once a month. But now we got to make sure that businesses stay in good standing. I made all the business cards. I made the logos. I made the banners. I paid for the LLCs. Everything that they needed to beat the odds, or everything that they need to beat the odds, because this program is so valuable and so needed. It's needed all over the world. A lot of people have dropped the ball because we doing so much that's not relevant. A lot of people I was just telling somebody this morning, this is so crazy. I said, listen, all of these people getting the funding, but I'm the one really doing the work.
Say that again, please.
A lot of these organizations, they apply for funding, they getting the funding, they're saying they doing this and doing that, and I have a proven, and I know this for a fact because I've taken a lot of people that have called me and say, oh, I do this, I do that. So I have my assistant to go on my website and put a resource Bible. And so every time somebody goes on there and they get to calling these organizations, as a matter of fact, thank you, Holy Spirit, I'm going to start taking them people off my website. But they don't do what they say they're supposed to do. And that's not good because then they're calling me back. I provide free luxury prison trips. I bless people the way the Lord leads me to bless them outside of that when he leads me to. People call me to help them pay rent. People call me from the domestic violence, the domestic violence shelters. They calling me because their kids don't have no Pampers. I got men calling me, their wives don't have no cancer medicine. I get all kind of calls, but I'm only one person.
Right.
People are getting the funding, but they're not using the funds appropriately. The proof
right,
is
and that's so true. There are a lot of organizations that are claiming that they're doing X, Y, Z, but when it comes to actually doing the work for real, they're not. So they're not necessarily doing the work. What they're doing is they might be donating to somebody occasionally, kind of insane that they're doing. What you're actually doing.
I always tell people this. We're not a once-a-year nonprofit. We every day. Because I get the kids see my kids.
Come on.
Talk to my principal. My mom made me mad this morning. Oh, I got a hole in my shoes. Here I am going to save the day. Here's the deal. If you Google Keeping Families Connected, if you Google Letitia Scott Jason, my proof is in the pudding. Right now, I just put my flyer and my Eventbrite link up yesterday at 12 noon. And it was for back to school. Because, I always do stuff ahead of time. It's already filled. I can't even take no more children. 250 kids that I'm blessing with backpacks and uniforms this year. I'm going to outdo the norm because I'm giving away uniforms and everything this year. And it's already done. We have an influencer celebrity basketball game, kid basketball game where I give away jerseys, trophies. I do this out of pocket. So my proof is in the pudding.
That's powerful.
And for Christmas, just Christmas past, I did 437 kids. Praise God that the people from Toys for Tots heard about me, so they blessed me with toys. So I don't only just do toys for kids for Christmas that's in need. I do clothes, underwear, socks, whatever. My daughters and I, we go to the outlet, and we don't, and I tell people, I don't even go shop for them children in Walmart. I go to the outlets. I'm getting quarters. I'm getting gas. I'm making sure I show these kids what I would want someone to have shown mine when I wasn't able to be here for my children.
Yes. And that's so important. I love that that you're taking your experiences and I love that last statement that you said. I'm showing these people what I would have wanted people to do for my children, what actually should have happened for your children, because you were working with the church. So I have so many questions about that situation, because the church should have been behind you, not just the people that were supposed to be your friends in the church, but the actual church should have had your kids, because that's how that community is supposed to look last time I checked. But go ahead. Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal. Believe it or not, when I got arrested that day, for some reason, God, so it sometimes seems like it's just so outlandish. Like, God, did you just do that? But that particular morning when my husband left, like I said, he went to one court, I went to another court. But he gave me some money, he gave me some cash, and he said, take this with you when you go to court. And it was enough money to last me till I got out of prison. But here's the deal. I wrote so many mega churches. I wrote the medium-sized churches. I wrote the small churches. I had just got to Texas, really didn't know anyone, but I heard about these churches. So I'm sitting in jail, in prison, and I'm writing these churches, and my first line of my letter was, I don't need your money. I just need somebody to pick my daughters up and take them to church. Not one church wrote me back.
Ooh, and there are some major churches out there. I'm going to be nice and not put the names of the churches out there, but just Google Texas churches. Go ahead, Google Texas churches, and it's all the major ones.
Not one. Not one. And that's when I came home and I wrote that book. Even do a book signing on it. Where the Real Church Folk. You can Google it by Letitia Scott. It's in the stores everywhere. I didn't even push the book. Then I just wrote another book, Grace and Favor from Prison to Paid. Talks about the first part of my life to when my son gets killed and when I meet my husband. So part 2 will start like the life that I started with my husband, and it'll talk about me getting wrongfully convicted and all of this stuff. But my point is, where are the people? See, I'll say this. I had to learn the difference, even being raised in church, that God's folks and church folks are not the same people. Somebody needs to hear that, because we be looking for the church folks, but God's folks are not the church folks. See, the church got to be in you. Just like I said, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler by nature, and I'm living a saved life. But the hustle wasn't on me, baby. It's in me. That's why I can teach these kids in my mentorship program how to grind, how to make $20. And the fact that they surpassed 69% of Americans, because every last one of them got more than $1,000 in their savings. And research says 69% of Americans don't even have $1,000 to their name.
Come on.
You better hear me.
Come on. You know what? And I definitely don't do this, but because I'm listening and I'm loving every single thing that I'm hearing right now, I'm going right now to our partner, shout out to Amazon, and I'm going to purchase what a real church folks at right now as we're on this interview. Because, honey.
So thank you so kindly. Thank you. God bless you. And
absolutely. Oh, yeah, and we'll talk offline because more people need to know about who you are and what you're doing and how to fund what you're doing, because y'all funding everything else. Y'all gave out all these PPP grants to people that didn't have businesses for real, and she didn't apply. She didn't qualify for that. With all the work there's proof in what she's done. There's the numbers. I mean, like there's digital proof of what she's accomplished. So I'm confused. Right.
You can see the school events. You can see the Christmas events. You can see my annual fundraiser. You can see me in the community blessing people during COVID with with food and with clothes. As a matter of fact, in the morning, let me tell you something. I didn't even apply for this. I was on my deathbed in February. I didn't know. I had just come back from Jamaica. Didn't know I didn't have no blood, no iron, no nothing, no oxygen. I'm just around doing what I do best, blessing people and having fun while I'm doing it. And my doctor called and said, I was shooting my TV show. I have a TV show as well. And I was shooting my TV show. And she said, you need to go check yourself in the nearest emergency room. I said, why? She said, because if you pass out and become unresponsive, you have no oxygen going to your brain or your heart. When I'm shooting a TV show, what you mean you don't have no oxygen breathing? She said, but if you become unresponsive, you're going to die. This was February just passed.
Wow.
So I finished the TV show. I don't tell my husband. Now I tell him afterwards. We come home. I take a bath and go check myself in the hospital. I'm there a week. I had to have several blood transfusions, had to get oxygen, iron, all of this stuff. And so while I'm there, this lady sends me an email, and she said, we heard about you. And I was like, oh, okay. And she says, they had $150,000 worth of brand new clothes from Bio Merch, which makes the clothes for Amazon and Hexon and all these people. And guess what they did? Gave them all to me. And guess what I've been doing? Blessing people. In the morning, I'll be out in the neighborhood blessing people with brand new clothes. That's my thing in the morning. Then next month, I'm in Louisiana. At the end of this month, I'm in Louisiana blessing people with brand new clothes. Week before last, 2 weeks ago, before I left for France, I sent $30,000 worth of clothes to Las Vegas for the homeless people. So if somebody's listening and they got an organization that bless the homeless, I will send them. You pay for the shipping. This man from Vegas came and picked him up with a 18-wheeler. But I just love blessing people. For Easter, the Boss brothers, my two grandsons that has the bow tie business, we went and bought all Easter baskets, 100 Easter baskets, and went to the cancer hospital, and I let them bless the children at the hospital with Easter baskets. What we had left, we went to the projects, and we blessed the kids in the project.
Wow.
My husband said, every time you send that home, boy, the Lord always telling you to go spend some money. Because I'll be sitting down and be like, oh, baby, the Lord told me to go buy some Easter baskets. He said, you sure the Lord told you that, or you just felt like you wanted to go buy some Easter baskets? Valentine's Day, we buy hundreds and hundreds of boxes of candy, and we don't go give it to the parents. We go give it to the kids.
Wow.
So that's why I say I'm an everyday nonprofit. I'm not just every once a year we're going to do something so we can get the accreditation from the IRS. I say the Lord got a weird sense of humor because I didn't even know what a 501 started taking these people to the prison. My husband said, you're going to get in trouble. I said, why? He said, because you ain't got no insurance for these people. What you doing? I said, well, nobody buy my kids to see me, this, that, and the other. And he was like, okay, Tisha. I said, but the Lord don't keep me covered. But once I found out what it was, I did my due diligence, and I applied for my 501c3, and I got everything legally done. And then when they said, you got to ask people for money, I was like, oh, God, come on now. Did you just set me up for this? Because I didn't know. Probably you have to ask people for money. That's never been my MO.
Right, you're used to going out and getting it.
Right, but the Lord told me, guess what? All you doing is helping people get blessed. They not blessed because they won't give. See, I'm a blessed. You talking about somebody who was homeless when I came home in 2013. I ain't have a pot to piss in and a window to chunk it out of. And then my husband wasn't here. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. I didn't even have a one pair of shoes and didn't have them because my cousin mailed me some shoes to the federal prison, and they were two right shoes. She bought them out the store, two right shoes. So I still didn't have no shoes. It's funny.
How in the world? You know what? See,
that I'm just keeping it real. But guess what? Now I'm abundantly blessed. I got a Mercedes van that's paid for where I take these kids to the prison. See, people don't understand that the principle, I'm not even talking about godly principles. Now, let's just talk about the universe's principles. When you give, you get. You take care of your home, you can get a Mercedes. You don't sweep the apartment, don't be asking for a man. It's just not going to happen. I'm a life coach. I can get them straight. You a hungry, you can't get a husband. Stop it already. It's just principles that people don't understand, that if you live to work these principles, you can prompt God into action and bless you. So you don't want to give $2 on my Tuesday because my husband blessed me with a car for my birthday last year that some people like, oh, she got a nonprofit. She shouldn't be driving a Bentley. He bought it. He paid cash for it. That wasn't, God has blessed us. Y'all forgot y'all counted us out, remember?
Well,
we've been sowing. We've been cheerfully giving. We respect what God blesses us with. So he said, when you respect what I give you, I got to bless you with more. Because the more you bless people, that means you're giving away what I gave you. I'm going to have to give it back.
Yes.
People just don't get the principle there. But, hey, it's like that's just who I am. And I know I can go on and on and on because people just be dropping the ball. They don't understand. If God can't trust you, you're not blessed, baby. You just benefited. There's a difference in being benefited and blessed. Benefits, you just get blessed. I can pick up from that right now and go in there and tell my husband I want to go to Hawaii, and I don't have to worry about if my bill's going to be paid next month.
Yes.
Blessed is I want to go get $10,000 worth of shoes and go take them to the project and give them away and not think twice.
You know, I think what's so beautiful about what you're saying is the fact that you're doing everything out of the goodness of your heart. You're doing everything because you want to show people how people should be treated. And, you know, there's always the questions about, you know, prison reform and all those kinds of things, and can we actually reform people that have been locked up? And you are proof in the pudding. Not only can you reform them, but with the right guidance, you can help them to change other people's lives.
Exactly.
And I love that because when I was looking, you know, just checking out Keeping Families Together, and I was like, or Keeping Families Connected, and I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I see they're doing some pretty cool things, but like I love that you said we do this every day. We're not just doing this around the holidays because everybody gets credit for doing their stuff around the holidays, but what are you doing every single day? And the fact that you reach out to the churches that supposedly do prison outreach in Texas. That's how I checked. Because I'm pretty sure it's on their websites.
Exactly. And then,
like I said, I'm going to be nice and not mention exactly what churches are out there, but yeah.
But the thing is, it is so crazy because I was standing in the bank one day in the line, and so this lady says, she said I had the book in my hand. I was giving it to a teller but I was going there. That was the bank I banked with. And so this lady said, oh, what's that book about? And I said, oh, it's about fake people in the church. And she said, excuse me? Because I was wrongfully convicted. I just started talking to her. I said, it's so crazy. I wrote all these churches, and none of the churches wrote me back when I was going through the worst, lowest part of my life. I just really needed the church. I needed them to. My dad been preaching all my life. Where were y'all when I needed you? She said, well, I go to so-and-so church, and, if you're not a member of our church, then they normally, and I'm looking at her like, when you had to be a member of a church to get help?
Wait a minute. Okay, let me get this. Oh, my goodness. Let me get this straight. They said if you're not a member of our church, then you can't receive assistance. Let's be very clear for those who missed it. When she reached out to the churches, she was asking for someone to take her children to church.
That's all.
Not for $1, but to take her children to church, to bring her children to the house of the Lord was what she was asking for. Not $1. She wasn't asking for money on the books, nothing like that, but asking for someone from the church to bring her children to church, and nobody responded. Ooh, child. I don't even know what to say right now because it makes no sense.
Let me tell you something. The worst part was they never exposed to premarital sex. Somebody needs to hear this because I just talked about this the other day. See, our children get messed up because we as parents sometimes, and the Bible says we perish when we lack knowledge. And a lot of people are not living. They're not teaching their children the principles. As a matter of fact, they're not living the principles. See, I lead by example. Even when I was a city center, certain stuff I wouldn't say in front of my children. A certain way I've never dressed in front of them. Even when I was a drug dealer, I didn't do the club, so I'm not doing any of that stuff. But we have gotten away from the basics. So my kids not being exposed to premarital sex, marijuana, and all this stuff. Now I come home. Well, as a matter of fact, somebody anonymous wrote me a letter while I was in the States. I don't know how to get my address. I don't know. Well, you can look me up. But they sent me a letter and said to me in the letter, no name, no return address. You're not going to be able to do nothing with your daughters when you get home. I cried. I went in the shower. I cried. And I said, God, I don't remember where this scripture is in the Bible, but I know this scripture. And it says this poor man cried. So I'm saying this poor mother is crying. You're going to hear me, and you got to deliver me from my trouble. Keep them till I get there. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they do the premarital. I don't care if they smoke weed. I don't care what happens. Just keep them alive till I get there because I got this. And guess what? Now every one of them have a baby. Now, guess what? They may have had some kids out of wedlock or whatever the case may be. They kids got businesses that's old enough. When I go to church, I don't need no choir. I take my daughters and my son-in-law and my grandchildren. When I get ready to send a prison trip off, I just pick up the phone and call, hey, I need you to volunteer to drive this trip, whether it's 2 hours away or 4 hours away. Get over here. But you said I wasn't going to be able to do nothing with them. But God says you's alive. Because guess what? I just used it. Oh, thank you. I just did a message. It's going to come on tomorrow, Sunday, and Tuesday on the Now Network. You can download that app for free and look me up, and you will see it on demand. The title of the message, and I only come up with my titles when I get to the studio to shoot. God will take your disaster. He will put it on display so that some people and yourself can get delivered. That's a word for somebody. See, that was a disaster to me. And it was all over in the newspapers. They didn't go retract them articles and say she won the appeal. They assassinated my character. But God says, look at me now. When I pull up in a Bentley 2022 that's paid for. When I pull up in a 2019 Maserati Quadriforte custom design nobody in the world has that's paid for. I'm not boasting. I'm just letting you know what God can do. I got a CLS 550 for an everyday car and a Mercedes that I take these people to the prisons like celebrities. So when we get to the gate now, and if I don't have enough room, I rent all black SUVs because I treat them like superstars.
Yes.
When I get to the prison gate, when we get to the prison, they be like, oh, let's keep it family connected. Y'all come on. So God won't do. This is 2022. I was homeless in 2013.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but she said when I pull up to the prison gates, we pull up as we're celebrities, and they understand who I am. Now, mind you, this is a woman who is taking children to see, and children and families to see their families who have made mistakes and are currently locked up. Some that have been convicted, wrongly, and some that have done things and are serving their time. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're still people. And their families have done nothing wrong, so they should never have ever been treated as anything else other than people. But as you hear right now, these churches were going to take it out on her children by not coming to get them and bringing them to service. And I'm still on the fact that you had them stay with someone from your church, quote unquote, who put them out when the money ran out.
And guess what? The thing
I
was
have
they thought
so many questions.
The whole thing was they thought I was never coming home. And that's crazy because I'm writing letters saying, hey, I got 6 months. Just let them hold on. I'm coming because I didn't want this appeal. I'm good. And then to come home and have them in a juvenile system. One of them was in the juvenile system. The other one staying with somebody all over the place. My kids was 11 and 12 and maybe 10, I think, or something. 13, 11, and 10. Somewhere around there when I left. Come on now.
And you put them with people that you thought you could trust.
But now I can say to God be all the glory because that setback was for a comeback, and I'm grateful, and I'm humble. I'm one of the most humble people you could ever meet. Sometimes people be like, how you be so humble? And, I just did a celebrity mom gala honoring celebrity moms with moms from my organization. I got a Hispanic lady who got 3 sons in 3 different prisons. She's in her 60s. Don't have anything to do with her, but she loves her children. And every month, I've been taking her for 4 years. She does not miss a month taking them grandbabies and getting up, whether she's barely walking or struggling, she go to see them sons. Guess what I did for my 7 Black Dress Gala with Jim Jones' mama and NBA Youngboy mama and all these Jay Holiday mom and Selena Johnson mom. I put her at the table with them to let her know they not no better than you. Some of they children have been in jail too. And I done got you a makeover. She hadn't had a makeover in 20 years and hadn't worn a dress in 20 years. I put her on the panel with them and honored her with them to show her, just like I need to show the world, that God is no respecter of person. If they don't pay their light bill, their lights get cut off just like yours. And if kids weren't celebrities, they probably wouldn't be doing as good as you. And I said this. You can go. I'm going to send you the link to the video. This is what's real. God wanted me to show y'all that these people that we put on these pedestals, we get deceived by what we see.
Yes.
But everybody is the same. We all got to go. The way we live is by choice. The quality of your decisions determines the quality of your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So I tell people, don't look at me and prejudge me because you see me pull up, and I try not to even pull up on them. But you see me coming and like, oh, that's Tisha, she did. But no, I am a servant of the Most High Priest. Baby, I come to bless your game. When I get up in the morning, I wake up with an expectancy. I keep a cooler. Let me tell you how much I bless you. I keep a cooler in the van full of water, juice, soda. I keep an armrest full of money. And I may have a few cookies in there, depending on which car I'm driving. I want to bless you. But I see the people on the corner with these signs, here you go, $5 or $10. Oh, I got some water and some sodas in the trunk. Let me grab that for you. See, when you live a raw culture life and you live with an expectancy to bless people, God's got to bless you. It's hands down. It's just no other way you're going to live but bless.
You have blessed this show today. I think, my goodness, I'm very rarely ceaseless, but for you, I think the biggest thing is, all I can say is thank you for being you. Thank you for taking the time out, because you could have just came home and been like, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do me, I'm going to just stunt this and the third, I don't have to worry about XYZ, but you said no. I'm going to give back. I'm going to show people how my children should have been treated.
Exactly.
And I'm going to show them that they are valuable. I say this every day, and it's so funny. I say this every day, because people say, like, what are some words that you have to live by? And I say, speak life into people. And you speak life into people each and every day, not just here, but around the world, from everything that you're doing, from the fact that you're doing stuff on your talk show, from the fact that you have this book that I cannot wait to read. I'm so excited. I literally just purchased it. It'll be here in 2 days. I'm going to be doing a review on my YouTube channel. Like, yes, all of those things. Super excited. Yes.
Well, I appreciate you so much for having me, and I just love just sharing what's real. See, and I was telling somebody this morning, I said, you know what? I spent so much money on my TV, being on this network. I'm on the Now Network, so you got Bill Winston, Mike Murdoch, all of these profound people on there. And I was like, where should I be doing it when the opportunity fell in my lap? And the Lord says, do it so people can know what you're doing, because nobody else is doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I'm just believing, God, that somebody's going to say and be like, you know what? We need to support this. I don't have to be in your city to mentor your kids. I don't have to be in your city to speak some encouragement into your life. I don't have to be. I tell people all the time, I said this when I spoke at this Women's Day conference Sunday at this church. I said, listen, I don't bake cookies. I don't bake cakes from scratch. That's not my MO. Don't ask me to do it. And if you do, you might be messed up. You might not never want another cake. That's not what I do. If you ask money, if you ask me how to get out of a financial situation, if you ask me how to get out of a situation that's not conducive to your lifestyle, see, I can coach you on it. I can mentor you in it. I can walk you through that. Because, you see, this one thing, and I'm going to leave you with this. I tell people all the time, the reason, the kids in my group don't even want to graduate. In my boys in blue and green program. They don't want to leave me. Because here's the deal. I tell people all the time, it's one thing for me to walk in the room and say, I'm a self-made millionaire. You looking at these rappers and you don't check the net worth, and you looking at these celebrities. See, everybody that I check people's net worth. I check how they live. Because I'm not going to be deceived. But when God puts you in a room with these people, with these children, with these families, because I do the whole family, God says, yes, let your light so shine so that God can get the glory. He said, but here's the deal. You can't just give them no principles without giving them a way out.
Yes.
Does me no good to tell them, oh, I'm a millionaire, you can do this to get. No, I'm showing them. Next week, we're starting a day trading class with one of the families, so then they get a $10,000 startup. And then when they get to $20,000, they take the $10,000 and pay it forward to the next family. So now everybody in my group is going to be trading. That's the way of the world now. My 7-year-old grandson just came in here. He can tell you, the boss brother, ask him out how much the price of gold per ounce is. He said, ma'am, it's $1,850 or $71 today, whatever it is this morning. He can tell you. They have the app downloaded on their cell phone. Then guess what? Oh, now we need to watch some Bible stories. So tell me why Noah built the ark. That's what we teach these. children, and it's just my husband and myself, the teachers.
I need y'all to understand. Letitia Scott is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. Man, like, oh my goodness. So, my final question, because we could talk all day long, I promise you. We really, really could. And we'll be talking offline, no question. Because like I said, the book is in the mail right now. Shout out to our partner, Amazon. The book is in the mail right now. So like I said, as soon as I get it, I'm definitely going to do my review. I might even have you come on my YouTube channel because they need to hear this too. Because you are definitely giving some serious jewels, especially when it comes to the misconception of what some churches are doing. Exactly. Like I said, I'm going to be nice and not say the names, but I'm just thinking of all the churches that are in Texas, and there are a lot of them that have claimed to be doing prison ministry, but apparently not. So, yeah. So
I remember when I first started the nonprofit, and when my husband came home, I was so excited about it, and I had him driving me. Oh, my God, thank you, Holy Spirit, for bringing this to my remembrance. He was driving me from church to church all over the city, dropping off my flyers for the nonprofit to take these kids to the prison to get donations. Not nobody. One church, shouts out to Pastor David Wilson from Greater Cornerstone Baptist Church in North Dallas. He was the first church to support my nonprofit, to give a donation. He sponsored several prison trips. But none of the other churches called me back, and he didn't even have a prison ministry. But the churches that had the prison ministries and all of this stuff supposed to be going on, none of them supported, none of them called me back. I just keep it real. It is what it is, because guess what? God says, I will make them see you. Now they can't, my Keeping Families Connected is a household name.
Yes.
So that's
as it should be. As it
Amen.
should be. So when everything is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
Her proof was in the pudding. It was in the pudding. My proof is in the pudding. That's just that.
Yeah.
My proof is in the pudding. And people call me that, Miss Proof in the pudding sometimes. But my proof is in the pudding. All I want to do is bless people and teach people how to get blessed. People are in, oh, my God, this is a whole other radio show. People are in poverty. People are struggling. People are in relationships that they think they don't need to be in. They're working on jobs where they're getting pimped out of their talents because they don't know how to get blessed. They don't know how to tap into their potential to bring about their prosperity. See, I'd rather make for myself than to make it $50 for somebody else that's gonna become a millionaire and on the yacht on vacation while I'm at the job clock in. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. That's some FYI for somebody. That might be some encouragement, because all of us have some gifts. Like I said, I don't bake cakes. That's not my thing. I can play a keyboard in my sleep. Never had a lesson. I can sing a song. I do a lot of stuff. I can speak, but I don't baking and all that stuff. Not my thing. But somebody may be good at it. I pay good for cake. You got to tap into your potential.
Yes, like I said, this has been such a beautiful experience. And shout out to Michelle Tucker for connecting me with you. Shout out to First Class Consultant, because, whoo, honey. Like I said, it's funny because now I remember, because I was in that room when you were talking about the play and everything, and talking to Lil Nas X's father and all of that. I was like, wait, no, I remember.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, God, and I think
he things around full circle.
Yes, truly did. Truly did. Go ahead and give all of your shout-outs and tell people where they can find you, please.
Listen, I have to give a shout-out to my friend, Michelle Tucker, First Class Consultant. She is the greatest. I met her through some people like 3 years ago. We've been friends ever since. I thank God for her, and she's been helping me ever since I met her. I mean, just selflessly, she's helped me. And so I thank her for this opportunity, the connection. And I want to give a shout-out to my king, my husband, my CFO, my protector, my best friend, my ride or die. My husband supports me hands down no matter what I do. I thank God for him. Thank God for my children, of course, and my grandchildren. But I give God all the glory because without him it wouldn't be no keeping families connected. So I'm just grateful. And you can find me on all social media outlets at Keeping Families Connected. On my personal page, you get to see how I live. You get to see how I give. Oh, I love that. You get to see all that good stuff about me. My personal Facebook page is Letitia Scott, but, of course, all the nonprofit information is there. Everything I post there first. My TV show information is there on the Now Network. As of today, I'll have a new day, new time, better slots, so I'm excited about that. And you can Google me, Letitia Scott Jackson. You can Google Keeping Families Connected, and it just tells you everything about me on the website. It's www.keepingfamilyconnected.org, and it has our upcoming events, celebrity, influencer, basketball, game, and back-to-school giveaway, where this year we'll be giving away uniforms, school supplies, as well as backpacks. So I'm excited about that, and it's already filled with 250 kids. So I'm excited, just excited about being a blessing. So Google me, social media me, whatever you want to do. It's Letitia Scott Jackson and or Keeping Families Connected. Danielle, again, thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to some more great conversations. And, hey, you never know. Maybe some kids there in aren't you in Chicago?
I am in Chicago, and I'm literally thinking, and so what's crazy about this whole situation, because everybody that knows me knows I've been working with organizations and nonprofits for years, and I'm literally thinking about how many connections, how many companies and how many organizations that I can connect you with that can benefit from what you're doing. So I'm going down my list right now. So I'm about to blow up your Instagram. There's with a bunch of people for you to connect to that are doing some incredible work. As a matter of fact, I'm going to connect you with the organization that I'm with called Project 1A Chicago, the leading mental health and recovery and people for recovery for substance abuse. We have houses in Chicago and Arizona. So the first thing I'm going to do is connect you with the founder of that.
I don't have a problem coming there, but if we can also do, you just don't know who needs some kind of guidance. And, we got these kids, and I mean, I've gotten calls from celebrities from New York. My nephew was murdered. I wish they had boys and blue and girls too up here. I need to get my kids, and, they'll bring their kids around and everything. I'm just going to let you see the videos and you'll see. But I know that the kids love me. And because God kept me preserved, people say, oh, you look so young, baby. I'm not young. I'm just preserved. And I can reach them. And we can help these kids get out of situations where they won't be robbing and stealing and selling drugs, which is not making no money nowadays, and getting killed. And see, if you give them a way out, you won't have to worry about all this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's just so, oh, my goodness. Yeah. Dr. Roslyn is definitely the person to connect you with to start. Okay. But I'm just I'm literally going down the list of people that I know. I'm like, who do I know that can help and you can partner with? Because you are doing so many incredible things. You are just definitely doing the daggone thing, and you should be working with all the organizations that do prison ministry for real. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna look and see in my network who I can connect you with.
Well, I appreciate.
Because you are definitely you are the epitome of the proof is in the pudding for real. And if that is not one of your hashtags, it definitely should be.
That's what I'm about to start doing. I hadn't been doing it, but you're right. You're right. I'm gonna start that today.
We're going to talk offline, Chad. We're going to talk offline because if you haven't been, that definitely needs to be your hashtag. That needs to be on a T-shirt and everything, all of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, listen, I'll call you later. I'm going to I got to do another meeting at 1. But bless you, yes. bless you. And I pray that someone got something from this interview, or someone gets something from this interview, because all you have to do is work the principle, and I'm going to leave you with that. You work the principle, God has to work for you.
Yes, absolutely, Miss Letty. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
You have an amazing day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, what's up? It's Danaya Azure. Be sure to follow me all over social media at Danaya Azure, DANAYAAZURE, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.
It's just different.
Reception. Satan get disconnected. The mission get redirected. The music get three-dimensional. Mess around, lead the physical. Holy Spirit, know your nears, know your hears. Help us see through smoke and mirrors. Promote awareness, toting couriers. After you smoke the fairness. I ain't see a soul to tanness. I can see my goals with clearness. I'm moonwalking on the future. I believe in miracles, cause I'm a breathing miracle. Eating cereal, broke the black mirror. Got cheat codes for each scenario. This is what it sound like when kingdom come. Make your kingdom run. I don't even need no gun, but I'ma bring my sword. Let me know you wanna go to war, cause I'ma bring the Lord. Miss me with all that talking hard. You better talk to God. Wake up, pray up, that how you stay up. My Lord, I am so thankful. Smoothing mountains cause my faith up. Alright, if God be with us, we all right. That's all I know, that's all I know. Wake up, pray up, that how you stay up. My Lord, I am so thankful. Moving mountains cause my faith up. Hi. If God be with us, we all right. That's all I know, that's all I know. Satan steady setting traps and people steady falling forward. God work is never done and prayer work like armor for us. Praying for our healing. Blessings over Baltimore, breaking through the ceiling. Go where you never gone before. I'm walking on air, I'm walking on earth. I'm walking on fire and water, how do that work? See, the opposite of watching is how you reverse the curse. Faith without works don't work. Faith without works don't work. Lead with love, cause we need the love. Instead of the hate, believe in love. Receive the love, it's never too late. Don't give up, don't give up. Yeah, that's the motto. Prayers like incense to God. Yeah, that's the Bible. Wake up, pray up, that how you stay up. My Lord, I am so thankful. Moving mountains cause my faith up. Hi. If God be with us, we all right. That's all I know, that's all I know. Wake up, pray up, that how you stay up. My Lord, I am so thankful. Moving mountains cause my faith up. Hi. If God be with us, we all right. That's all I know, that's all I know.